Hey guys, Mike Binty out here with Atlantis Constructors. We're out at Bella Building 10, starting the front side construction. Today is 4/27. It's 2:06 in the afternoon. We received some feedback that perhaps we were removing things that didn't need to be removed from the building, and so I'm actually standing in the dumpster to go over what we've removed. Which personally I find at some point there has to be some amount of or level of trust between the contractors and the owners, that we're not, especially with as many buildings as we've done, that we're not doing anything that doesn't need to be done. But of course it is our goal to make the owners happy and to have transparency. But we do need to develop a little bit more of a working relationship, understanding that perhaps that you guys hired us to do to fix your problem, and we are a reputable company, and it's not our intention to deceive anybody or rip anybody off. And anyway, let's get going on the dumpster here, what we found. So if you look in the dumpster, you can see we've got a lot of stucco in here that we're ripping off. We've got some plywood in here that we've been pulling off, and I think one of the issues, as you can see, is why this piece of plywood looks like it may be okay, but what happens is as we peel this stucco off, sometimes it's really on there, and if we start to warp the boards and all that trying to pull it off, well, then it becomes a total loss, because as you can see, if you look down this, there's a million nails that stick this thing into the framing, and you can see how flimsy this is already. You can see there's a watermark right there on it. So in order for us to waterproof these things and put the Stowe Gold Coat on there, really we would have to try and peel out every nail and then fill every nail hole, which we can do if that's what you guys want to do, or cut out pieces, but that is going to take extra time as opposed to just peeling off an entire sheet and putting it back up. So sometimes there's just a corner of a piece of plywood that has the rod on it, and that goes with the same thing. By the time we break that out, you can see here, it's not something that you really want to leave in your building. It's not really while we've got it unwrapped, it's probably something that you want to replace. So it's actually faster and will be less expensive just to replace the entire sheet. But you can see there is rot on all these pieces that we're pulling out. So it is also something that we maybe talked about being able to stop and show everybody every time we needed to replace something. But as you can see with the amount of guys that we have down here, and we're gonna go take a look at that, not really practical to do, having guys stand around while we approve a $150 board to put back in. So I know that at the end of the day these costs do add up, but it is a large building and it is proportional to what you're getting. So let's head back over to the building now. Just give me a second, I gotta walk over there and we'll show you what we've done today. So you can see that was a fresh dumpster, and basically we can see what we've gone through today. So obviously that was all the board that came off of there that we ripped out. So we pulled the framing off over here, or not the framing, excuse me, the sheathing off over here. If there was any question as to, I'm just looking at this myself as well, as to why we may have done that. Obviously it was because there were some rotten pieces. You can see here, I'm pulling the plastic back, but you can see the rot on this corner, which obviously was extending to the other pieces. So we've got that done. We've done a section here. Got it covered back up, so as well as over here on this garage. And right now we are moving along down here. And this will give you kind of an example of why we're ripping it off. You can see on these corners, they're rotten. So let's just say that the plywood was still on here and it was rotten down this side. Well, does it really make sense to take a saw and try and cut that little piece of plywood out, or just to rip the entire piece off, which is already pretty dry wadded anyway, and just put a new board up? It's generally less time consuming and less expensive to do it that way, just putting the entire board up. As you can see, gentlemen up here, another example, right over the window there, you can see the rot. So, I mean, those are the kind of pieces that we're pulling out. You can see this piece over here. You know, not the best piece, but it's going to stay in. You know, it's not rotted. We can gold coat that, so it shouldn't be a problem. Looking around over here, if you look up in that corner there, I can see a little bit of rot too. We'll have to explore that when we get to the second level. But we had some pieces down here that were rotten. Again, all the stuff that you saw in the dumpster. So that we're pulling out of here. So we're going to keep working around this building, and I will keep you guys posted with the videos. You can see the scaffolding guys are about here, and they're getting ready to get set up so we can put the bottom scaffolding on this front side. And that's our update for today. So anyway, I'd love to have your feedback or answer any questions that you may have, clear up any misconceptions about what we're doing out here. As usual, you can contact me via email or cell phone. So this is Mike with Atlantis signing out.